Welcome back to Hardball. President Trump already has his 2020 playbook figured out. Blame the Democrats. Let's watch.
I like the issue for election, too. Our issue is strong borders, no crime. Their issue is open borders. Let MS-13 all over our country. That's what's going to happen if you listen to them. But ours is like, approve, get it done. Get it done. Their word is resist. They want to resist everything. They think that's going to help them get into office. I don't think so.
We're back now with our panel, Charlie, Susan, Jason, and Heidi. Well, there's the president. I do think we heard last week, before the 4th of July, we heard all about this message. They're for open borders. They're for crime, MS-13. We're for the other. Jason?
I think
he defines the Democrats as the idiots. I
think that's fine, but it's easy to define the party before you have a candidate, right? Like, and your message is only as effective as a candidate you get. If you get a Terry McAuliffe and his campaign slogan is "Get it done," people are like, okay, I can believe that from Terry McAuliffe. Maybe that doesn't sound good from Elizabeth Warren. So I think the Democrats are going to have trouble having a message until they have a candidate, and we won't know that for another 18 months.
Yeah, but you're going to see Donald Trump take either of those two candidates, and even if they have a message of "Get it done," he's still going to make them the evil Democrat, and they're going to say Clinton operatives, Obama, like he will just.
What would you do as a woman, for example, when you're facing the same thing Trump did to her? He came over like, you know, Mighty Mouse looming over behind him, and how do you deal with Trump's boorishness? I mean, he's unusually boorish, and yet I don't know if she could have turned him and said, "Get it back in your corner, bub." I'm not sure that would work with. I don't know, because she didn't do that.
She didn't do that, and I think she actually was so afraid of kind of using the woman card, if you will. There's nothing wrong with saying.
What's a guy do if another guy comes over and stands over him and looms over his back?
That's a different
situation.
situation.
Well, what do we do? What's the guy do? Advise him.
Guy has to. Well, then he's got to kind of hold his own space and push back.
Like George W. did.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Against Gore, when he looked at him like, what kind of a guy are you to come up in my space like this?
But as a woman, there's nothing wrong with saying, that's not what I expect. You know, something that plays on, he's acting like the buffoon that he is.
Charlie, what would you do?
Call him out.
If you're a man or a woman and somebody loomed over you.
Oh, I don't really care.
You don't think it hurts? It hurt her.
To me, Donald Trump got 46% of the vote, and he's got a 46% message. Now, if you think 46% wins in 2020, then that's fine. But I don't think 46 is going to be a winning percentage.
Even with Bill Weld racing down the middle.
I don't think we're going to ever see 50 again. I don't think we'll ever see 50%.
I think Bill Weld, somebody's going to. Joe Scarborough, I don't know Joe that well, but I think somebody's going to go down the middle.
I don't think you're going to see
Heidi, do you think there'll be a third-party candidate that's going to go down the middle and allow Trump to win with 46 or 45?
Well, the third-party candidates that we're now talking about would take away from him, in theory, depending on who the Democratic nominee is. This is so hard to game out, right? But the two names that are most mentioned
okay, Bernie
right
against
now are
Trump.
Flake and
Who
Kasich.
wins? Who's it? Kasich as a third-party candidate. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Weld?
That's not one that I'm privy to, you know, any
I remember
inside
Gary
information
Johnson was the ticket leader, and he couldn't remember knowing him of one world leader. Anyway, Trump rarely passes up an opportunity to talk about how great his presidency is. Let's watch him selling it.
Nobody had any idea we'd be able to do so much so soon. In a very short period of time, all those things have been done, or they're very close to being done, but most of them have been done. A lot of them have just great starts. You know, you have to start. We're going to start winning again. We're winning. We're winning now. Like we haven't won before. Like we have not won before. The greatest phrase, I think, in the history of politics is on all of those red and white hats that I see out there. Make America great again. And that's exactly what we're doing. Make America great again. And you know what our new phrase is in 2.5 years? You know what it is, right? Keep America great.
You know, Susan, every rule that we were taught growing up, not just rich kids like the Bushes, but don't brag. Don't brag. This is what this guy does. This is what he does. He brags like a buffoon.
He's broken every political norm we have ever known, period. Whether it's as a candidate, whether it's as a president. We can't afford. we all try and look at him through a lens that doesn't exist anymore. And
how's he getting away going after Maxine Waters last week about her IQ? I mean, an African-American woman who's been around for 20, 30 years in public office, been pretty effective, and he just attacks her IQ, and it's just another thing on the day that day. Just another Trump saying that day.
Because he does these offensive things all the time. And this goes back to what we were talking about, if he looms over you. This is what the Democrats need, and you can call it a fight or whatever. The person who wins, the Democrat who wins, is when Trump walks out to him and says, you might want to back up. And see how that resonates with every Democrat out there that's been begging for a fighter for 35 years. Would love it if someone said that. And here's the other part. The way you beat Trump, and Hillary, what her most effective is when she poked holes in his ego, when she said he was a puppet, when she said you don't make as much money as you make, as you claim you make. The Democrat who says, you know what, that $130,000, you know, back where I'm from, people didn't pay for stuff like that. That's what you need
Heidi. If you're going to swing, you better punch hard because you got to follow through. You can take a shot like that, and if you're not ready to go to the match or go to the mat, you're going to look bad. So in other words, which Democrat is willing to do that?
But I think it's going to be a lot about the rebound, Chris, because, and this is poll tested, okay? Don't take it from me. I've met with probably the same Democratic outside groups that these candidates have, and they actually have poll tested these messages already. And what they're telling them is, look, if you are going to be like Hillary Clinton and run on Trump's temperament, that is not going to work. And it's an interesting explanation why. They said, particularly with the millennials, while you think it's firing people up because inside they feel the same way and they feel the same anger, it actually depresses them, especially that younger demographic who really experienced their political awakening during the Obama years and then saw that the equal and opposite reaction to that was Trump. And so it's kind of demoralizing for them. And so the way to kind of fire those people up is going back to the issue that has always been the issue in elections, which is about the pocketbook issue. You know, look, healthcare prices are about to go through the roof. Look at the corruption issue. Democrats are starting to talk about that now more. Why aren't we talking more about all of the corrupt things that are going on in this administration? For example, with Scott Pruitt, what's going on at the Department of Education.
But didn't Hillary say, I talked those things over and over again in every speech and nobody covered it?
Yes, she did. Yes.
Well, that's the problem.
It's absolutely true. It's a valid criticism. I was there. I saw how she tried to get her message out, for example, on her Alzheimer's research. And Trump was the one who was throwing the punches. And that's a very valid point, Chris. And that's why I say you have to be great on the rebound.
Up next, Trump's already preparing to do battle with Democrats in